What if you woke up tomorrow morning and had no idea who you were? No memories, no family, nothing. Well, that's exactly what happens to our protagonist in today's featured story. And it gets even worse. He wakes up trapped in a dark metal box with no idea how he got there or why. In fact, all he knows is that his heart is beating really fast and the walls around him are closing in. Then suddenly, light floods in and he's pulled up to see dozens of teenage boys staring at him. Apparently, this place is called the Glade. And according to these guys, he's the newest arrival in a strange and dangerous world. He doesn't know where he is or why, but he does know one thing. His name is Thomas, and everything is about to change. The Glade is a massive open space surrounded by towering stone walls. Beyond those walls is the maze. The towering walls constantly shift and change and are deadly to those who get too close. Every boy in the Glade has a role. Some farm, some cook, some build, and a few, the bravest, are runners. They map the maze every day, searching for a way out. No one has ever escaped, and no one wants to talk about what's outside the walls, only that it's deadly. But Thomas is curious, restless, and to be honest, he feels like he's been here before. He can't shake the feeling that there's something familiar about this place, something about these people, something about his life before he arrived here. But he can't put his finger on it, and that's frustrating. There's a million questions pounding in his head. Where am I? Why am I here? How did I get here? Who am I? And none of the other Gladers seem to have answers. They've all lost their memories. No one remembers anything from before, except Thomas is different. He feels like there's something inside of him, a pull, a purpose, and that scares everyone. Soon after his arrival, the routine breaks. A loud alarm echoes through the Glade, and when the dust settles, everyone's eyes are drawn to the center of the circle. There's a girl laying unconscious in front of them. She's gripping a note in her hand. It reads, "She's the last one, ever. Her name is Teresa." And everything begins to unravel. Thomas and Teresa stare at each other. Recognition flickers across both of their faces. It's clear they've known each other before. And while neither of them can recall exactly when or where, they can feel it deep in their bones. This connection is real. Suddenly, Teresa stirs and gasps awake. The moment she sees Thomas, her eyes widen in recognition. She scrambles to sit up, her gaze intense and filled with worry. She looks around at the other Gladers, fear etched on her face. "Run," she whispers urgently, her voice hoarse from disuse. "The Grievers, they're coming." Just as she finishes speaking, the ground beneath them trembles. All around the Glade, alarms blare, sending the boys scrambling for safety. As chaos erupts, Thomas helps Teresa to her feet. Their eyes meet, and in that instant, a silent promise passes between them. They'll figure this out together. But things are about to get a whole lot worse because the maze shifts more violently now. The Grievers, hideous biomechanical monsters, emerge from its depths. They stalk their victims under the cover of darkness, snatching them one by one. The walls used to protect them, but now they stay open. Fear takes hold. But Thomas isn't afraid. Something inside him drives him to action. The memory of a woman's face flashes in his mind, along with the word wicked. He realizes he and Teresa are connected. They were part of the experiment. They helped design the maze. They were never supposed to remember, but they do. Teresa confirms his suspicions, revealing snippets of their past, enough to make them realize they must uncover the truth. Thomas isn't sure why, but he knows he has to break the rules. If he doesn't, the Grievers will kill everyone, so he runs into the maze to save others. Miraculously, he survives, and in a heart-pounding encounter, he fights a Griever and wins. It's a brutal, terrifying battle, but Thomas emerges victorious, forever changing the perception of what's possible. The boys begin to follow him. They see in Thomas a symbol of hope, a beacon in the darkness. And Thomas isn't just another glader. He's different, he's special. But why? Over time, the gladers come to accept Thomas's leadership, recognizing his bravery and determination as they work together to solve the maze's mysteries. The story unfolds, revealing the depths of their situation. Flashbacks reveal bits and pieces of the gladers' past, hinting at the cruel reality of their confinement. Meanwhile, the present-day gladers grow, increasingly desperate as their food supplies dwindle and the grievers become more aggressive. The story builds suspense as Thomas and his friends race against time to find a solution. The maze is a relentless opponent, shifting its paths and presenting new challenges daily. Yet the gladers persevere, their spirits unbroken. Finally, after countless attempts and sacrifices, Thomas and his friends uncover a secret message hidden within the maze itself. This discovery reveals the true purpose of their imprisonment, deepening their resolve to break free. Hope flickers as they believe that escaping the maze might lead them to freedom. However, the path to the exit is fraught with danger. The grievers sense their quarry and launch a final, desperate attack. An epic confrontation ensues. The gladers, fueled by desperation and the will to survive, fight back. Grievers fall, but not without cost. The gladers suffer losses, facing the grim reality that their fight for freedom comes at a steep price. As the story reaches its climax, the gladers' strength wanes, their hopes seemingly dashed against the unyielding walls of the maze. Just when all seems lost, Thomas experiences a moment of clarity. A sudden surge of adrenaline and focus propels him forward. Drawing upon his inner strength and the support of his companions, Thomas leads a final assault on the maze, dodging traps, battling grievers, and pushing through exhaustion. The gladers inch closer to their goal. Finally, they discover a long-hidden door, offering a glimmer of hope. What lies beyond remains uncertain, but the prospect of escape outweighs the risks. But the door leads to a control room, and what they find next shocks them to their core. Monitors display images of the glade and the maze. Scientists observe them. The gladers realize they've been nothing more than lab rats in a twisted game of survival. Dead bodies litter the floor, evidence of the terrible fate that befell those who came before them. A recording reveals the chilling truth. The world outside the maze is a desolate wasteland, ravaged by solar flares and reduced to a shadow of its former self. Civilization has crumbled, and the maze's creators are searching for a way to rebuild. They see the gladers as potential leaders, the best of humanity's survivors. Suddenly, the room is breached by masked soldiers. They claim to have come to rescue the gladers, offering them food, water, and safety. At long last, the maze is behind them, and a helicopter waits to whisk them away to a new life. But as Thomas looks back, he sees the haunted faces of the scientists, pleading for understanding. The story ends with the gladers arriving at a secure facility, seemingly safe at last. However, the relief is short-lived. That night, Thomas overhears hushed whispers. "They took the bait," someone says, and then the realization hits him. It's not over. He sees the look in the woman's eyes. It's not over yet. Because the maze was just the start. Phase 2 is beginning. The gladers are no longer pawns in a game. They're the game. And they don't even realize it. They were never meant to escape. They were meant to survive. To become something else. Now the real test begins. What did you think of this story? Let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to read more stories like this, check out the links in the description. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share for more amazing content.